Hi everybody. So today is the third day of kindergarten. So this is the second full day of kindergarten for my son, and I'm feeling a little, I'm feeling excited but a little bit sad today because it's like really hitting me. Like, my son is in school every day now, all day. And I'm used to having him home. So before the pandemic started, I was working and he was going to daycare. And then once the pandemic hit, I decided to keep him home. And so he has been home with me since 2020. And then another reason that I'm a little anxious about this whole process of him going back to school every day is because my son has multiple food allergies. So from one allergy mom to another, you understand the anxiety that comes from that, especially when you have a child who has multiple food allergies to a number of major food allergens that are in our food every day. I just want to give you guys a little inspiration, a couple tips that have helped me being a person who has food allergies themselves, and now having a child who has way more than me. And I didn't have food allergies when I was a kid, and I just developed allergies later as an adult. So it's a little bit easier to navigate than being a child who is so young. My son is 4 years old, but he has had these allergies since he was a baby when we discovered that he had allergies. So he does pretty well with knowing that he only eats, what's safe for him, and he really speaks up and he'll say, no, I'm allergic to this, or I'm allergic to that, I can't have it, So he's pretty good with that, which makes me feel more comfortable that he knows how to speak up for himself and advocate for himself. So at the time when I discovered his allergies, he was in school, he was in daycare, and so he was going to daycare. And so the daycare, as well as his school that he's in currently, they're going to require that you send his medicine. And so my son has to carry Benadryl as well as his EpiPens with him, and he has to have them at school. And so when they're so young, they can't carry them themselves in their backpacks or anything. So you have to make sure that you get a form completed by your doctor or allergist, which just spells out what medications your child needs, and then also the allergy action plan, which spells out what happens in case of an allergic reaction. Those things are in the allergy action plan. And so I really love my allergist that I had a couple of years ago when he was younger, and then he moved away. So I now have a new allergist that is really great, and so I'm developing that relationship with his new doctor. So that is number one, getting a great allergist that can provide you with your action plan, not only for school but for yourself, so that you know what to do, what happens, if anything happens at home. We make sure that we have multiple EpiPens. Your insurance usually allows you to get a certain amount per year, and so then I am able to have some at home, in his bag wherever we go, and then also, now that he's back in school, having medicine at school on file so that they have that in the office. Another thing that has helped me is just really doing the research and becoming a part of a lot of great online platforms, a lot of groups, his first allergist told me about a website which is FAIR, and I have some notes here, so I'm looking at my notes. So FAIR stands for Food Allergy Research and Education. So FAIR is a great website. It's a great resource. So definitely getting a resource guide for yourself. FAIR is a good place to start. They list everything out, all of the major allergens, everything that you may want to know, questions that you may have. Just check there, you know, seeing like what are the percentages of kids outgrowing allergies and things like that. And just a few things that I've researched and found out, and that my allergists have shared with me, is that about 80% of people with egg, milk, and wheat allergies will outgrow them by the age of 16. So what happens when you have a young child with food allergies, they get tested every year or every 6 months or however often your allergist recommends. And so they'll come in and get their allergy test, which consists of, if you want to test for multiple things, they have a whole rectangular device that has multiple needles sticking out. And so each needle will have a different allergen on them. And for the kids, instead of them getting multiple pricks on their back, like I've had as an adult, they just take this one big rectangular board and they push it onto their back. So they just get all of the different pricks at one time, and then they don't have to get multiple. They just get one large prick with all of the allergens on it. And so from there, they'll wait about 15 minutes or so, and then they look and see which item reacted, and they'll monitor that. They can see how large it is, and then they'll provide a number which lets you know how severe that allergy is based on the number that comes up from the test. That will help you to see if your child has outgrown any of their allergies. Another test that they'll do is a blood test. And so a blood test is just another measurement of seeing, what the levels are as far as their allergies go. So the blood test is a little bit more accurate from what I believe. So the allergist will see based on the back prick test and then the blood test, and then they can compare and get a really accurate reading. And they'll like to do the blood test like if the prick test is really low, just to kind of see if you've outgrown things. And then from there you would do a challenge, which we have not gotten to that point at all, but you would do a challenge where they would actually eat the food item in the office to see how things go. Another resource that I have discovered on my own is Backstop, and it is a really great online resource to use. They have these online huddles, and so and webinars and things that you can sign up for. So I've signed up for a few huddles, which have been really great because they're led by a Backstop representative, and then they usually have a allergist who is running that particular discussion. And then you have parents that signed up. The ones that I've been on, it has not been that many people, because that's why they call them, the huddles. So it gives you an opportunity to ask questions and interact and talk. A lot of times when you're just watching the webinars, you're just getting the information, which is great, but you don't have an opportunity to interact with the presenter. And so I have really enjoyed going to a few of those online huddles through Backstop, and I've been able to ask some really good questions and get some good information that's helped me as we, prepare for school. This summer we went on vacation, so they have things like how to safely take vacations and travel with children who have allergies, how to prepare for back to school, how to deal with camp, overnight stay, just great topics that you would want to know as a parent with a child with food allergies. Well, another thing that I didn't know about before doing all of this research is the 504 plans that you can have for your child. And so in addition to having the allergy action plan that I mentioned earlier, you can have a 504 plan for your child when they go to school. So I am currently in the process of getting one established for my child. So basically the 504 plan, it spells out exactly what needs to happen at school to keep your child safe. And you can put anything that you want in there. Things like making sure that all the surfaces are wiped down before and after your child eats. Seeing that they sit at an allergy-free table in the cafeteria. And just making sure that the substitute teacher knows and is aware of your child's allergies, putting in details about field trips, what happens then. So it is just another layer of safety that you can have for your child, so that you make sure that the teacher and any teacher that interacts with your child, cafeteria lunch aides, that everybody is aware of your child's allergies, their action plan, and just the steps that they need to keep them safe. So definitely something great to look into. I'm so happy, with the school that my son is now attending. They have been really great. I reached out to the principal. He was so responsive. We had a sit-down meeting, just me and him and my son, and we just went through all of the details to get his 504 plan in place. So we're in the process of, getting all those details worked out of what's going to be included. I was able to talk with his teacher ahead of time. We had a really great phone conversation. So definitely reach out to your school, reach out to the principal. A lot of the districts, they have people that are in place just to discuss these type of things, and they can guide you in the right direction of what steps you need to take to start the process, get things in place, and all of that. It is stressful and there is anxiety, with sending your kids out, but just make sure that have your plan. We have our foods established, we have our brands that we feel safe eating. And so that's another thing, making sure that you establish your safe foods, your go-to snacks, all of those things. And so now, I send everything. I'm going to be sending all of his snacks, his lunches. And so I know that what he eats when he goes to school is what I have sent him. So hopefully this was helpful. Make sure that you leave some comments that can be helpful for me, other moms who are dealing with food allergies, and be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.